Hello, I'm coming to you from my studio to continue this orchid painting. Since the last time I filmed, the only thing that I have done is add a little bit more black paint around the gold. In these areas, because it looked like you could see ridges from the gold leaf that was laid in there, and I didn't like that, so that's the only thing that I've done. And today I'm going to work on the very top left of the painting and the furthest point, so it would be here. You can see that on the screen over there. And I do that because I'm right-handed. I don't want to smear the paint because it's oil paint as I'm working across. I won't probably get that much done today, but it's still my habit. And I usually complete the area that I'm painting in one go. I paint very thin, and the first thing I see is white. And I'm going to have trouble covering up some of the white, so it might take a couple of coats. But let me show you what I have on the screen. So this is a photograph that I took, and sometimes, on occasion, I will click on the eyedropper here and take a little sample of it to see what's going on, how light it is. You can see that right in that corner there. And it looks to me like it's pretty close to white. It's pretty blown out there, so that's what I expected. Another thing I can do is take an eyedropper of this color. If I'm unsure, let me add a layer. If I'm unsure what the color is, oh, come on. And then I will take, sure, we'll call it that. And I will take the paintbrush and maybe I will add a little bit of that color here so I can see what it is. Then I may take this color here and do the same thing. I don't normally do that. I'm just doing it for effect for you guys to see, and it's one of the tools you can use in Photoshop. If you're unsure about an area of a color, it's a little trick you can do. I can usually judge it, and I don't need to. That's pretty light right there. That was this area right here. I won't be getting to that today probably, but just as a little example. So I have laid out these colors for me to work with. I have the titanium white in the order that they're here. That's titanium white. This is zinc white. This is permanent alizarin crimson. This is quinacridone magenta, and this is cobalt violet. I don't have much cobalt violet because it's $35 a tube, and I'm actually not sure whether I'm going to use it. And I also have my medium here, which is Winsor Newton's Liquid Original. Coincidentally, all of these paints are Winsor Newton. I don't use Winsor Newton exclusively. I use Grumbacher and sometimes some other brands I may use if I can't find what I'm looking for. Okay, I will start my timer to work because I do that for each session that I'm painting. And I didn't explain why I put out two different types of white. I use titanium white because, well, that's what I've always used, I guess, for white coverage, but it's a little transparent, and zinc white is supposed to cover better, so I'm going to add a little bit of that in. And I'm going to start with the white because I don't want it contaminated by the magentas and the other colors that I'm going to add in there. I've added just a little bit of liquid to my brush, but as I said, I paint very thin and white is kind of hard to cover, so I'm going to have to probably do this a couple of times. You can see the black through it. As I was saying, when I painted this, I knew that when I got the lines out of the black into the drawing that I was going to have trouble covering it, so, but can't be helped. All right, so I did, I'm mixing alizarin, permanent alizarin crimson, and quinacridone magenta right now. Mostly alizarin crimson. And I did paint that pure white, which is not what artists usually do. A lot of artists usually put their highlights on last. I know that that's a blown out area, and I'm pretty sure, because I tested it out, that it's going to be pure white, but I do have some more layers I can put on it, and I can always change that. Okay, I went and got a little bit of Payne's Gray. I think I'm seeing that in there. Actually, it's more of a kind of a yellow Payne's Gray. But right now I'm just gonna go with Payne's Gray. I might change it later. This I'm just blending, which means I'm removing paint, which isn't very good because I'm so stingy with paint. So it's thin, is what I mean. Okay, unfortunately, it looks like it might have to dry some before I can continue, so I might have to go on to another area. Okay, so I kept seeing yellow, so I went and got some cadmium yellow medium. Happens to be Winsor Newton also. These are too much in the line. So I need to break them up. They are sort of in the line, but they're not quite so soldier-like. I'm gonna have to go around here with white anyways. So I'll be able to break it up. This is towards the end of the day where I am just laying paint on because I'm tired, and I'm just trying to get some of the paint off my palette because sometimes I can't get back to the palette and do the painting for a while and the paint dries out on me, so I would just rather put some on there and apply some layers so that I don't have so much trouble later, excuse me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not exactly working left to right now. I don't know why I'm fooling with this little detail, but apparently it's something I want to do. I'm a very detailed artist, so it's what I like the most. That's probably going to be it for today. I appreciate you joining me. Well, I decided to go ahead and use up some of the alizarin crimson that I had and save the dots because it was just dots basically that I was filling in. So that wasn't really anything very exciting to watch, but just thought I'd let you know what the last look of the canvas looked like. There you go. So thank you.